What's up, BFL fam? Welcome back to Brooklyn Fragrance Lover. Please welcome Joseph Quartana to BFL.
Hey, hey.
How are you, sir?
Wonderful. Thank you for having me, and it's
My
amazing
pleasure.
to finally see what the inside of this box looks like. I'm in another dimension. It's crazy. It's like I'm inside of my TV.
That's so cool.
That's what it looks like. It's another dimension. It's crazy. So
We've been planning this for the longest. We finally did it.
Yeah.
You're with my partner in crime, Steven, earlier today, and you came all the way to Brooklyn, drove here,
It's a
and
crazy
here we are.
coinky-dink that I was with Steven earlier. It's a crazy, strange coinky-dink, but alas, that's how so it worked out. It was actually nice. So, I bring you his vibes and his good tidings.
That's my brother.
Yeah.
Much love right there. We have a lot of things connected, all of us, somehow or another. We'll bring them out, I'm sure, little by little in this video.
We're native to the New York area, both of us. So
We're paisans. I'm from Bensonhurst. He's from
see,
Caldwell.
Jersey, yeah, Jersey, Guinea, Jersey Italian.
Oops.
Yeah.
That's very offensive. You can't say that about Italians.
Unless you're Italian.
You damn greaseball.
Yeah, exactly.
That's even worse.
Guinea. There you go. Wow.
Well, that's the equivalent of
Gino.
spick when I was growing
Guido.
up.
Yeah. Exactly.
The Guidos called me spick when I was growing up. But it's all good.
Yeah, I remember all those truly tasteless jokes and those kind of very un-PC things in the 80s, Oh, we're better where we are now.
Listen, I'm all about positivity and love and getting along with
Exactly.
everyone. But I grew up with, a little rough. I think these days, it's a little too... Everybody's triggered by everyone and everything.
My comment on this is that when in doubt, ask what the intention is, because if it's a good intention, then let it be said. If it's a bad intention or a manipulative intention, then you gotta check that shit. So
Bottom line, it's about being a decent human being.
exactly, and doing what's right in your heart of hearts. You know what the right path is.
I'm with you.
It's when you sweep it under the carpet or say, you know what, no one's looking on that's when you're being a douchebag.
Or when it's uncovered years later, but that's another story, another segment. We can talk for hours. We actually have been talking for about an hour. He did laundry with me. He helped me with my laundry.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And of
in his
course,
basement.
this is BFL's house. I'm off tomorrow. Cheers.
Salute. I'm sober. But
Good for you. You're sober. So you've been sober since
2 years and 1/4 year. Yeah, 2 years and maybe 3 months. And
shall we start from that? I'll set up the story from that night.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah, it's a good reference point. So yeah.
2 years ago, I met this guy online. He was my friend online. He had a great line. In my opinion, I don't care what Mr. Know-It-All says. Luca panned his line. Don't listen to him. Go smell their Potions Fatale collection. I love most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. Anywho,
He was an early supporter, so I appreciate that. You were the first to actually give any recognition to my Wolfsbane, which was a special one for me because it was the first masculine fragrance. I really focused on, I was like, I want to do a masculine fragrance because I did prior to that something like 27 perfumes prior. And
wow.
So, yeah.
This guy has a
the Sixth
history,
Sense stuff.
and hopefully we'll get to touch all of that. But quick story, he was up for an award, and he did win for this baby right here called Papi Soma. I've reviewed it here with Olia. And that night, he won. The award show ended. My camera ran out of juice. I had no battery left. Steven and I, his phone battery died as well. We run into Alberto Marias outside smoking a cigarette. And he smells fantastic. I'm like, oh my God, Alberto Marias. And that triggers me. And I'm like, oh my God, Alberto Marias, and my phone is dead. We can't take a picture, we can't, nothing. But he smelled amazing. Turns out he was wearing one of his own creations, which was Gucci Guilty Absolute, which Steven and I both kind of panned.
Oh, that's too bad.
And
Well,
it smelled fantastic on him.
It just goes to show in the context it changes immensely. So.
Oh, it's in my collection now,
Yeah.
but it took a while for me to.
I'm saying in general, before one pans a fragrance, they should try it in different contexts.
Yes, absolutely. Wear your fragrances. I totally agree with that. So anyway, that night we ran into him also smoking a cigarette, which you don't do anymore.
No more. I'm very healthy.
He managed to
God
take a
bless.
picture of me and Steven and you, all nicely dressed up for the Fragrance Foundation Awards. And that was a memory. You wake up the next morning and what's up?
Okay, so it was weird. So I win this prize for that, which I was
Yep.
not expecting to win at all, which in itself was a shock because
Perfume Extraordinaire of the Year.
Yeah, Perfume Extraordinaire. It's a prize that's actually the only blindfold prize. This is what's special about it. And it's all done by perfumers, blindfolded perfumers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I
So your
came in
peers-
number one. Yeah, number one. So they don't know because I have so many haters actually. So it's good that they don't
I
know
can
who
relate.
I am. Yeah, I know.
Haters Anonymous.
A lot of people don't like me for some reason. I don't know what I did to them, but anyway, it is what it is.
It's their problem, it's not yours.
I take the high ground. Anyway, so I win this prize. I'm shocked. I go home and I'm just trying to like chill out, like watching TV. My wife was already sleeping, and I wanted to wow, okay, I can't. And I'm like processing. I was like, I just won Perfume
You're like,
Extraordinaire.
no,
It's
you're pretty much
crazy.
like, wow, holy shit.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
the
finally!
reason I was so shocked. No, I didn't want any award. It's not like I did it. It's not like finally. No, I was just like, what the fuck?
But
has
you
happened?
deserve the recognition, no?
Well,
I guess
thanks.
not.
That's great.
Anywho,
I appreciate it.
whatever.
I mean, but this is not why I do what I do. And I already won Best Indie in 2011. I think the second year they had it for my 6th Sense Series 3. So I thought,
cool.
if you win a Fifi, you don't win it a second time.
Don't call it a Fifi anymore. That's not cool
now
anymore.
It's Fragrance Foundation, whatever.
Fragrance
I'm a little old
Foundation
school.
Award.
Yeah.
I was up for one, and Steven too.
I know,
Mm-hmm.
and I was hoping you guys would win, so because y'all my favorites, so
Thank you.
you're my early support. You personally are my earliest supporter because again, you were the one of the first press that I got in the fragrance community because we were only doing outreach in fashion and lifestyle because that's the world I come from. So I didn't. Really
And he's also a DJ. Cool stuff coming up. Please stay tuned. If it's a little maybe slow start here. So you were surprised you won the award and
shocked I was on the award. I go home and I'm just kind of chilling out. My wife's already sleeping and I get this agonizing pain in my side and I was like, what the heck's going on, because it was a pain I didn't recognize. That was what was alarming about it. It was like this stabbing pain. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
like
It's
something
it's
was
not
wrong. You knew
gas.
something
Yeah,
was wrong.
I was like, this is weird. And so I was like in the fetal position on the floor, like, oh, it hurts so badly. So I woke my wife up. I managed to crawl upstairs. We have a 2-floor. I get her, and she's like, oh my God, I looked like death. I was like all sunken-eyed and white, and sweating. We go to NYU Hospital. It's just, I live in Lower East Side, so it's a straight shot up 2nd Avenue to the hospital on like 30th Street or whatever. And they admit me in 2 hours. For 2 hours, they were trying to figure out what the heck's wrong with me. Why am I in agony? They put me on a morphine drip. So they finally figure out that my gallbladder exploded.
whoa!
And I was digesting my guts. Yeah, I was eating myself. And had I if I was like, oh my God, I'm going to just basically take a Pepto-Bismol and go to sleep, I would not have woken up. The doctor was like, you'd be dead. Your wife would have found you dead on the floor.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So, and then this is crazy. They're like, you need to go into surgery right now. So I get rushed into this crazy surgery, 6 hours. They go in and
6 cents.
yeah, 6 hours under, cut me all up, stop the damage of the organ, digestive fluids everywhere.
Which poison your system.
Exactly. So they had to vacuum all this
Septic.
mess. Yeah. And then there, I woke up at like noon and I'm like, I just won this prize and I'm like, what is fucking going on?
Did you think when you woke up out of the anesthesia,
I thought
was
it was
the
a
prize the
dream.
first thing you thought about?
Yeah, I was like, is this a dream? I'm like, what the heck is happening?
That's awesome. You hung on to that great
shock.
feeling.
Well, it was nuts because, Oh man, I had some crazy hallucinations while I was under there. But anyway, let's just say,
Morphine. More morphine, please, por favor.
yeah, Jesus H. I'm pretty convinced there's life after death. Let's just say that, because like where I went was, you know,
And you remember them. That's pretty.
I remember it like
fantastic.
clear as day. Yeah, I was in the waiting room, like as it's like depicted in Beetlejuice. You know, it's like this waiting room to go into the next
saw
room, and they
Beetlejuice.
were like, "You never saw Beetlejuice?"
I want to see Beetlejuice the musical, but I've never saw the movie.
Oh my God, it's one of Tim Burton, I think, right?
I never saw The Godfather. I never saw The Bells of St. Mary.
Are you shitting me?
I never
You
saw It's a
The
Beautiful Life.
Godfather?
No, I never seen
Sir,
Godfather
you've
1,
not
2, or 3.
lived.
Scarface is my go-to gangster movie.
That's fabulous. Yeah,
And The Sopranos.
I love it. It's hard to watch that chainsaw scene in the beginning. Ugh. Scarred me when I was a kid.
How long to get
Anyway,
better?
well, no, it gets worse. So I have to go get a second surgery and to cut away all the damaged guts. So I lost like 5 pounds in organs. I have this scar now here. So that was like an 8-hour surgery. They said it was going to take 6 months to recover from, and it was. It took 6 months, and so
You
it was
were
actually
totally
a year.
immobile. You had a
Yeah,
in your.
couldn't do anything. So I was like totally just MIA, and so my distributors are like, "What the heck's going on?"
Did you run business at all? Or
I was trying my best, but I was like in a friggin' hospital, So I had to become a vegan.
You
And
had
so
to.
now I had to. I'm not.
Oh.
I can't digest animal protein anymore. But fortunately, I can get away with fish. So it forced me to become vegan pescatarian, which was like the best life choice I've ever made in my life. Because I used to live on pizza and cannolis, So
I can totally relate.
yeah, no,
Like that lady that we just ran into. She is the epitome of that woman in the family. You want a cannoli?
Exactly. And she's not gonna take no for an answer. This is my cousins in
Come
Sicily.
on, have a cannoli. Only one's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, if you don't tell them,
It's like an insult if you don't eat our food.
Exactly. But it's going to be the best cannoli you've ever had that week.
Cannoli
because,
repeats on me. I can't eat cannoli anymore.
well, ditto. I quit. I had to quit sugar besides quitting dairy as well, which is also life changing. Here's the funny thing: when you quit sugar, you have more energy than when you're eating it. Sugar is a cruel trick. And
Yes.
a prank. It's a scam. It's a friggin' scam because it's in everything. Once you actually try to quit sugar, you
I
read
just
the
started.
box on
I
everything.
just started 2 weeks ago.
Mamma mia! It's everywhere.
Everything.
Everywhere, and that's why everyone is so fat as
Yeah.
well. From the '90s, it's all a scam from the sugar industry to blame people getting fat on fat, but actually, fat is good for you.
Yes, you need a
You
little bit
need
of.
it. Well, no, literally, like the stuff, like the nutritional product, like saturated fat, unsaturated fat, that kind of fat. You need this for good health.
But this whole crisis in your health helped you learn more about being healthy.
Yeah,
Things
it's
to
changed
change,
my
things
life.
to cut out.
And so, I mean, for example, the next collection that I'm working on, with IFF this time, I'm blessed to have this project.
IFF. First, it was Simrise for this collection, and IFF for this one.
And I worked with Givaudan for 3 of the Sixth Sense collections. They were a pleasure. I did a lot with Rodrigo and Jan.
Rodrigo.
Yeah,
Love
he's
Rodrigo.
my favorite. I did 4 with him. He was critical in our winning our my best indie
Cool.
prize. Yeah.
I interviewed him, and I had to cut it down to 20 minutes from an hour and a half. He could talk for days.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's so animated.
He's poetry in motion.
He's
This
really
is what
awesome. I
really
love
like.
him to death. I love him.
He's like such a firecracker of beautiful flowing energy. The man's for real. He
Mm-hmm.
is. Anyway, I've been working on some new formulas because I was like basically in bed the next one that's coming out is with Luca Maffei.
I love his work. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I love
So
his work.
We're about done with
Young
one,
Italian perfumer.
Yeah, and I'm transitioning
For which
from
brand?
Quartana.
Quartana.
Yeah.
For which collection? I mean.
Well, it's a new collection.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's a standalone. It's basically a stepping stone to the next collection that I'm coming out with. That's the sequel to Les Potions Fatales.
Okay.
That's basically kind of the opposite. It's dedicated to well, I can't talk about it, but that's all I'm gonna say. But anyway,
Stay tuned.
Yeah, Luca's perfume is a nice stepping stone to this, and it's basically the fragrances I've been doing now are a lot more they're a little cleaner and less brash. So I get this project basically for Mute Records in London, which is bananas.
You have to elaborate on Mute Records in case they don't know.
Right, people are like, who the heck's Mute? So they're this London label that basically invented the sound of new wave, which is like, you know, synthesizer punk, you know, that came out starting from like 1980. And so bands like Yaz and Depeche Mode and Einstürzende Neubauten and Coil and Nitzer Ev, and you know, they're all on this label, and newer artists too. So they also embrace techno. So there's like Daniel Avery, who's a new techno artist, and Goldfrapp, who's been around since the early 2000s, who I love. They're all on his record label basically. So. So the last thing that I've done, the latest thing that I've done, which is I had to do quite fast, is basically a nice natural precursor to this one that I'm doing with Luca. So it's this interesting bridge as it sort of worked out, because it's a very clean one. So the project is basically called 433. I don't know if you can see the...
Probably not. It's a very bright light.
Yeah, it's basically a foil stamp, a white on white, but yeah.
Which stands for?
Which is basically the title of a composition by an American composer called John Cage.
Okay.
He wrote he's a classical composer, a new classical, I should say, or avant-garde, if you will, and he basically did a very famous composition called 433. It's known because it's basically 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. That's it. Yeah. So
interesting.
You're like, huh? Yeah, there's the curveball. So it's 4 minutes and 33 seconds of the musician standing in front of his equipment, in this case a piano, and just running the mics, and that's it. So what do you hear? It's a recording of, like, the audience coughing, shifting the chair, the hum of the microphones,
taking a sip of their drinks.
Right, this kind of atmospheric noise. It's reactive, and so.
And this was a hit. This 433.
It's not a hit, but it's known as like the most minimalist song ever.
Wow. Okay.
So any music nerd credits this song 433 as like the holy grail of sort of modern music in terms of minimalism. So whether you like it or not, or you think it's a gimmick or not, it is what it is. And it's based on these Robert Rauschenberg white paintings, where Robert Rauschenberg basically painted a canvas with just white paint, and he's like, "That's it. This is my artwork." This is 1951 he did. So you're like, "What's the point?" The point is that it catches light and shadow over the course of the day. It's reactive. It's beautiful. Okay. You understand?
Right.
This is
yes,
the beauty.
I totally get that.
It's a very silent beauty.
But
it's pretty, isn't it? So
the average person walking up to that white canvas probably wouldn't get it. But explaining it, I totally get it.
You get it, exactly. And that's all you need to know. You just have to unlock the key, that's to unlock the lock. And so John Cage wanted to make the sonic equivalent of this. So he ran the mic on himself. It would be during his concert. So you have to understand also, when you listen to this 4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence, it has to be after a song.
Yeah.
It can't just start, because how do you know when it starts?
Okay. So
it's very important that you understand that we played in the context, of a song before and after. It's like running the mics, and it's an interpretation of white ambient noise.
Okay.
That's it. But it's more than that, because what it is the artist projecting their creativity, their shine, if you will, onto the microphones.
Okay.
Capiche?
Yeah. Capiche.
Isn't that interesting?
See.
So it's in a sense a catalog of their soul.
Would you have to be a fan of this artist to appreciate that?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, okay. So check it out. So Mute, as part of their 40th anniversary, this record label, they had all
40th anniversary.
40th anniversary. Thank you, thank you.
I remembered.
They're very modest folks, and they don't want to do anything self-congratulatory. They're beautifully humble. I love this.
That's cool. No, I do.
Yeah, I think that's, in this day and age, that quiet elegance is what's really fabulous, So, and Mr. Daniel Miller is all that, and a bag of chips. So,
shout out to Daniel Miller.
Yeah, exactly. He's the man, the founder of Mute, and from The Normal. You get 5 records with all 58 artists doing these covers
of silence?
Yeah, of 4 minutes and 30 seconds of silence, which you would play in series of their music to reflect on their music. The whole point is a pause, a reflective pause. That's it.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it. And so it's the afterglow of that last song lingering, and you just kind of swishing it around in your mouth, and then and wanting the performance to resume because it creates an anticipation. It's like a pause during sex. You need it, right? Hello. And so and then it resumes, and so this is exactly what I was trying to capture with the scent. The idea, and what I pitched to Daniel Miller when I had the chance to tell him my idea, was basically a flash of lightning in a wooden theater. So it's this creative energy going and singeing the wood, so a little bit of frankincense and some musk representing the human medium, and a lot of cedar and layers of woods. So
how were you approached to be the person who does this creative vision of the record brand?
Okay, so this is kind of crazy. I had read about this record set. Actually, it was announced in like February of this year, February 2019. I read about it on some new wave fanboy website that I subscribed to, because I'm actually a fan. I love Depeche Mode. I mean, I'm wearing a Black Celebration tee, so I'm real, going back to those days. They made me who I am, so my religion is Depeche Mode. Let's put it that way. Okay, so anyway, so I went to this. So I read about this, and I was like, "Holy crap! I totally want to get this box set." I was like, "This is the coolest thing." I'm like a nerd for this stuff. I'm also an amateur sorcerer, so having their soul on disc
I'm
is
staying on your
really
good side.
interesting. No, I'm a good guy. Good guy.
I'm a good witch.
Yeah,
He's a good witch.
White witch, only. Hematite. Okay, so I went to this concert in Brooklyn for this band that I quite love called Adult Period. Their name is Adult with a period. Like it's a command. Adult, as opposed to don't be childish. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Something like that. He explained it to me. Adam, the guy for the band, explained it to me once. So, but anyway, back in 2000, I booked them for one of their earlier shows in New York City, and anyway, now they've been at it, still they do this sound that kind of fuses punk with techno. It's very interesting. Husband and wife duo from Detroit. So anyway, I go to this concert for adults. I go backstage. I happen to have backstage passes. I surprised them. I was like, hey, and they remembered me. It says nice, I've gone to their shows a few times over the years, so they kind of remember, vaguely, I guess. Anyway, while I'm back there, this woman who's the head of Mute's marketing just came in because they're, Adult is signed to Mute, and we were just chatting, and she was like, and I asked her, I was like, is that 433 box set coming out? Because like, I need to have this. It's so cool. And she's like, yeah, we're working on this. It's been delayed, blah 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 blah. And I was like, have you ever thought about doing a candle for it? Because it's kind of begging for a candle, isn't it?
Wow. So you pitched it in the moment,
just off the cuff.
Yeah.
So she was like, I think she complimented my fragrance. I was wearing my own hemlock. I do remember that. I wore hemlock for Adult because it smells like vinyl, and I was like, this punk show. I was like, we're like. And it's S&M. It's dedicated to sadomasochism. Anyway, so
this guy has many shades. Mr. Quartana has a lot of shades. He even does kung fu.
Karate.
Karate, excuse me.
Now I sound like a douchebag. I do karate. But that's how it's pronounced, I swear. I mean, it's karate.
And he's very anti-supreme.
I studied Japanese, so I'm sorry, I'm a nerd about it. But
your wife is Chinese?
She's actually from South Korea originally. But she came over here, when she was 18 or something. So, she speaks fluent Korean, but she's American.
Cool.
Yeah, she's a New Yorker. She's tough. Like,
box
back
candles.
to the box set. So anyway, I was like, I can do a candle for you guys real fast. It's pretty easy. I had this idea anyway of this like flash in a theater. I was like, so it's easy. These like 4 chords. We'll do ozone and frankincense, musk, and cedar. And piece of cake. And she's like, that's really cool. I'm gonna tell Daniel, the boss. The founder. So, you know, that was that. I went home, blah, 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 you know, and then I get an email, and I was like, wow, okay, so she wasn't bullshitting me. And she's like, I told Daniel he loves your idea. He wants to have a breakfast meeting with you. He's flying to New York. I was like,
wow.
The guy, the head of Meat Records.
That's really exciting. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, no,
I've had a couple
was
of
like,
situations of that nature.
Yeah. So I was like, this is crazy. This is like a dream because, again, my religion is Depeche Mode. So, well, I mean, I'm not that much of a freak, but, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's something.
You just can't get enough.
Exactly. That was good. That was good. Yeah. So I met with Daniel and he liked my idea and he was like, here's
Where was the breakfast?
The Ludlow Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where he was staying, happened to be staying there. And, you know, he was like, yeah, go to it. Here's the deadline, you know. And I was like, well, what do I need to know? And he's like, you have 12 inches by 12 inches by 1 5/8 inches to work with. And he's like, go to it, you know? And I was like, okay, here it comes in 4 months. And this is a project that would ordinarily take me 12 months with no disasters. So I was like, I got it. I'll do it in 4 months. And so anyway, I managed to do it. I can't believe it. I actually designed this box. So the solution we came up with was because it's in a box set, you know, it's in a box that has the other vinyl. So what we did.
So this is just part.
And this is
how
the
big?
candle that comes in.
Got
Yeah,
it.
the candle that I did. This Scent of Silence, 433, the Scent of Silence. What we're sort of calling it, and you know, in deference to John Cage. So we have a little. You know,
that we can see.
Yeah, it's nice. So, you know, I always credit the noses I work with. In this case, Marcello did a bang-up job. And then there you go. This is the presentation we came up with. So, you know, you have, it's the 4 candles. Basically, they're 2 ounces each. You get 8 ounces of candle. And you take them out of here. Please take them out because this will
Styrofoam will go on fire.
Yeah, we have fair warning labels inside, so I'm off the hook legally. You burn your house down. Don't be a knucklehead.
It's not on him.
Yeah, I warn you.
And what's the top?
So, and then these are the lids. So the funny thing is, like, I had so little vertical space to work with that we had to package them with the lids off. But it worked out nicely in the end because I rendered this kind of abstract idea I had about my my interpretation of 4 minutes and 33 seconds is rendered graphically. Just kind of black, 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 and you see the black actually scratches off to become gold. So. Don't do that, but it will fade away just like this.
You told me to!
Well, no. I'm just saying over time. If you,
okay.
So the idea is that you want to reuse the tins. Please don't throw it out, you know? Like, it's all about recycling and reusing. So it's cool because these will fade away to show the gold, you know? And this is exactly the metaphor we were kind of going for. Now I'm going to put everyone to sleep. But when we were interpreting the scent, it was about the silence in between these 2 songs and that afterglow of the performance lingering. And that's what we were trying to capture with the scent. That's it. Okay. So it's this. And so one of the candles is actually not a dummy. This one actually works because this is, again, the only prototype. So please have a smell. This is the Scent of Silence as interpreted by myself, Joseph Quartana, and Marcello Olalde.
This smells cold. It smells woody. It smells resinous.
Yep.
Am I way off?
No, you're totally on the money. I told you what the accords are, you know.
No, that's what I smell. It's not what you told me that they are. That's what my nose told me I smelled.
Okay, well, it's good. It's on the money. I mean, it's not so much. This is the dust cover, so it's covering the wax. Yeah. Smell around the dust cover. Try to edit out the smell of the paper. Sorry, this is a presentation. Dummy, it's not so much an actual smell one because I don't even have a candle. We're waiting on it.
When can people buy this?
You can pre-order it now, actually. We can provide the link. There's a few left. So they're only making 433 of these sets.
Of course.
Aptly. Yeah. And what's cool is that it's the charity. Everything is for charity. No one's making any money. Yeah. And it's all benefiting tinnitus, hearing loss. So, you know, mute being called mute. They want you know,
and a lot of musicians probably suffer from
actually,
that.
some people in their office in London, you know, are suffering from this. So it's the musician's worst nightmare to lose your hearing. It's like a perfumer losing their nose. Yeah, so you can imagine.
God forbid. God forbid. Knock on wood.
Touch wood. Yeah. So it's for a really good cause. So besides being this really interesting composition that I whipped up in only 4 months, it actually came out really good. I'm very proud of it, actually. I mean, I swear I would not have put it out if I wasn't happy with it. And Marcello did a fine job.
So very, very interesting. I'm so happy to have had you here in my apartment and tell me about this wonderful project. It sounds like a lot of fun. I'm sure you had a blast.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it, it almost killed me, but yeah, dream job. I mean, to be able to serve Mute is fantastic and honor them, and of course this, monumental composition. I mean, I'm so honored. What can I say? So I hope people will like it. We did our best. So, and anyway, it's my follow-up, my first anything since winning Perfume Extraordinaire for Papi Soma, which please check out.
I'm intrigued about the new fragrance.
So, well, thank you so much.
With Luca?
Okay, yeah, thank you for that, exactly.
Please keep me informed, keep me in the loop.
I would love to come on and show you guys. We can, as soon as it's ready, but I'm trying to get it done for Exons in April, I'm trying, but it's like if Luca.
I'll be attending for the first time in my life.
Amazing, right? I've been there a few times, and I skipped last season, so it's time again if I put this out, and I want to do more in this direction. But anyway, yeah, Luca's next thing. That's the cool thing I'm quite excited about. So, a little hint: the fragrance with Luca smells like gasoline.
That's one of my strange smells that I always loved. My parents filling up the car with gas.
Bravo.
And that smell.
Yeah, me too.
And many of us love that smell.
Yeah, I love it. And not so many people have done it. I used to wear Unleaded by DKNY. So one of the reasons I'm doing this, because that fragrance has been long out of print, So
DKNY and Fuel by DKNY.
Yeah, exactly. Another one I loved, because my wife, weirdly enough, was designing for DKNY jeans. Like, she was like out of Parsons, and yeah, my wife's a fashion designer.
I just really loved all the connections from Alberto Marias to us both growing up around Italians to just a lot. There's a lot of connections, and fate, I think, definitely brought us together for whatever reason that I was one of the first. I mean, I was a nobody when I first did.
Nobody's a nobody.
Wolfsbane.
If anyone tells you you're a nobody,
no, I mean, well,
press you.
Listen,
friend.
I would rather watch a video that I put out
isn't it?
yesterday than one that I put out 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Can we just not watch any videos from BFL from 5 years ago, please?
It's okay. Listen, I'm so ashamed of things that I've done from 5-10 years ago. I mean, if you look at my junior high photos, Madonna, I mean,
Madonna mia.
Here we are, live and let live. So
it's all good. But anyway, it's been a wonderful...
Carlo, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for
so much
finally
for
having me in this magic studio. I can't believe I'm here, Will I ever get out?
Well, you have a long drive home and it's 11:30 already, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the great chat from this wonderful guy right here, very creative guy, and I had a lot of fun. I definitely had a lot of fun, and definitely look out for this 433 limited edition.
Tinnitus, benefiting tinnitus. And anyway,
links will be down below.
Stuff is awesome. Listen to their bands. Depeche Mode, come on. If you haven't heard them, they're the new Rolling Stones. Depeche Mode 2 is the new Rolling Stones. They are. They still sell out stadiums. So.
Hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun. See you guys at the next review. Peace. Take care.